In this video, I'm going to tell you how the times of the day are counted in Ethiopia and elsewhere. And I will try to share a little secret, that I discovered. Stay tuned. Um, I actually don't know how many ways of counting the times of the day are there in the world, but I know two, which are that of my native country and that of the country I live in. And that's to say Ethiopia and the United States. And I assume that what is used in the United States is used by the rest of the world, but I don't have any research finding or any study, but this is just my own assumption and from common sense or from what I experience. So when we see the two, the one used in Ethiopia and the one used in the rest of the world, they are totally different. And when we talk about time here, we're talking about local time. So in Ethiopia, the 24-hour day is divided into into two cycles of 12 hours, the daylight and the night. So the daylight starts from daybreak as one, and we count on it. We count on one as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'll explain that a little bit later, a little bit further in the following slides. And night also starts at dusk, and that starts as 1. And the rest of the world, probably most of, not entirely the rest of the world, but most parts of the world, day and night are not equal. And day starts right after midnight, not at daybreak as in Ethiopia. So probably the factors I assume could be are mostly geographical for the solar system, the location of the countries. Ethiopia, an Eastern African country, located, is in the tropics, located near the equator. But those countries which are located in the tropics are very few, and it's only those countries that have equal days of the equal night and day throughout the year. But most of the countries of the world are outside the tropics, and that's not the case for those countries. So the little secret that I have come across is that the times that Ethiopians use, or the way Ethiopians count times of the day, is exactly this stated or put in the scripture. And I was reading the other day and found out that it is exactly the same, and I said, aha. And that's what was my motivation to make this video. And it's Matthew chapter 20, and it goes on saying, if you read the whole chapter, it says early morning, which I assume could be 1 o'clock or earlier. And it says in the 3rd hour, at the 3rd hour, at the 6th hour, and at the 9th hour, the 11th hour. And then finally it says when evening came. So it's exactly how we Ethiopians count time. We start at daybreak saying 1 and goes on to 12 until dusk. So when evening came, that is 12 o'clock. We don't use AM or PM, we just say o'clock. So that's 12 o'clock. And then after 12 o'clock we start, because it's evening, then we start over and say 1 again for the night. And then next morning we start 1. So that's how the 2 cycles of 12 hours go and are used in Ethiopia. And I was surprised to find out, or probably I might have read this before but didn't realize or didn't notice it, but this time it's just struck me, and wanted to make this video and share to you all. So here, if we compare the two, just for your understanding, and note that this is not conversion of one specific time, but it's 2 different times, local times. So 1 o'clock morning local Ethiopian time is 7 a.m. Local US time, like morning in the US is 7 a.m. and noon in the US is referred as, or the time at noon is 12 p.m., while the time at noon in Ethiopia is 6 o'clock, is referred or termed as 6 o'clock, or counted as whatever word we use there for denoting that. And then dusk is 12 o'clock and 6 p.m. Evening we start over 1 and say 1 o'clock, but it's 7 p.m. And midnight is 6 o'clock Ethiopian local time and 12 a.m. elsewhere local time. Early morning is 12 o'clock and 6 a.m. And it goes on like that. And the main difference here, apart from the geographical location, is, I think, the understanding of the time, the start of where to start. In Ethiopia, we start at daybreak in the morning, but elsewhere, or the Western style of time counting, starts right after midnight 12 a.m. So it goes on after 12 a.m. and then it starts over again 1 and 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And this Western style of time counting refers part of the night as morning, like but for Ethiopians, like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. are still part of the night. But for the West, like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. is morning. And that's interesting. And as an Ethiopian living in the United States, I sometimes confuse the two, but I just get intrigued and astonished by how the different the 2 different worlds are functioning or using counting time the day. Yeah, just that's a small bit of information to share with you, and probably if there are research findings out there about time counting in different parts of the world, please share it in the comment and let people know about that. You know, knowledge is the important thing. Knowledge enlightens people. So knowledge is also transferred through through many different ways, and this is one of the different ways, and let's share. And thank you for watching so far, listening and watching so far. I appreciate it. Have a great time. Bye.